It was in this village in 2005 that a world record was set for eating oysters. The challenge was to eat as many of these little things as is humanly possible in the space of 3 minutes. So how many were eaten and where am I? You'll find out in a moment. In today's show, I'll be helping a couple of newlyweds cross the threshold and return to her country roots. And judging from their reaction to our houses, I think they'll like what they see. Come on in.
Oh, wow.
Oh, could be home. Yeah.
Fantastic.
But then we leave it to their imagination with our mystery house.
Interesting.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You want to go inside?
Absolutely. Let's go.
OK. Today I'm in County Down in Northern Ireland, and this is the village of Hillsborough, where every year thousands of visitors descend to witness oyster lovers from around the globe battle it out for the coveted title of World Oyster Champion. Now then, tonight marks the opening of the competition, and I may indulge in one or two myself, so join me later to see if I can beat the world record of 233 oysters in 3 minutes. Better get practicing. With the Irish Sea lapping at its shores, County Down is bordered by Antrim to the north and Armagh to the west, and is one of the 6 counties that make up Northern Ireland. Downpatrick, the county town, is home to 10,000 residents and is synonymous with Ireland's patron saint, St. Patrick, whose remains are thought to be buried in the grounds of its historic cathedral. Rearing up from its sweeping coastline, the stunning granite mountains of Mourne were a source of stimulation for the author C.S. Lewis, who believed that at any moment a giant might raise his head over the next ridge. This backdrop also provided inspiration for the magical world of Lewis's The Chronicles of Narnia. With epic mountains and expansive shores, it's no wonder that some 2 million visitors are drawn to the county each year. House prices here in Northern Ireland vary quite dramatically from region to region, but the basic rule is that the closer you are to Belfast, the more you'll pay. Well, the average across the whole country for a detached property is currently just under £228,000, a figure that compares pretty favourably with prices across the water in England and Wales, where for a similar property you'll pay about £27,000 more. So bear that in mind when you now look at what's currently on the market here. With a guide price of £395,000, this substantial property in Glenarm provides 4 generous reception rooms, 2 of which have feature fireplaces. Its 5 bedrooms also have spacious proportions, and it's all topped off with amazing views out over the coast. Or for £575,000, this immense 5-bedroom new build in Ballynahinch has an awe-inspiring double-height interior. The floor-to-ceiling windows let in lots of light, and the stone fireplace adds a warm focal point. The property also has a high-spec kitchen diner, which leads out to attractively landscaped gardens. For top budgets, this handsome 5-bedroom house dating back to the 1850s in Mill Isle is on for offers around £675,000. Along with a triple garage, outside it provides 2.5 acres of grounds, offering glorious views over the Irish Sea. Some fantastic properties there, don't you think? And over the course of the next few days, we'll be showing the house buyers 3 more, including the mystery house. Let's meet them, shall we? Andy and Teresa have lived in their 4-bedroom home in Watford, Hertfordshire for the past 15 years, but are in the throes of starting a new chapter of their lives, having recently got married. To mark this new beginning, they've decided to return to Teresa's roots in County Down, Northern Ireland.
For me personally, moving back to Ireland has always been something, that I wanted to do. I came here in '87, probably planning a couple of weeks holiday, and I'm here 25 years on, so I think if I don't make the move now, then I might never. My son is totally independent now. He's over 21, so he's on his own, basically.
Another factor in their move is Teresa's family ties in Northern Ireland. She's one of 12 siblings, some who live in the Newcastle area of County Down, and being nearer to them is very important.
I think because we visited, obviously, Teresa's family there, so we're fairly familiar with the area. And certainly on the coast, so where one of Teresa's sisters lives, it reminds me very much of my home.
Andy's childhood home was in Murray on the Scottish coast, so it's no surprise he's keen to be closer to the sea when they move. But there are still plenty of other requirements on their wish list.
Inside the house, I'd like 3 bedrooms, maybe 1 with an ensuite, but it's not crucial. Downstairs, I'd like a downstairs cloakroom, a nice sized kitchen, possibly kitchen diner, because that's where we tend to spend a lot of time, and I would be happy with 1 reception room. I'd like it to be a nice size though if we only had the 1, and then it would be an added bonus if I had a utility room.
We'd prefer something with quite original features, maybe some rural features. I quite like a lot of natural wood, maybe slate, things like that. Maybe a nice big stove.
Andy and Teresa also have a clear vision of what they want outside.
Parking is quite crucial for us.
Probably a driveway and a garage, because I have a motorbike. I'd quite like to grow vegetables, maybe get some chickens.
Despite knowing what they want, our buyers maintain what I'd call a healthy approach to house hunting.
Andy and I both are extremely flexible, and I think when you do visit a property and you get that feeling, so we might surprise ourselves.
Flexible they may be, but there is one no-no.
Renovating might be a bit of a problem. I didn't want anything too structural. We don't mind decorating at all and adding our own mark to it, but I don't think we want the hassle.
Although they plan to sell their Watford property, they don't want a huge new mortgage, so they've thought very carefully about what they can actually afford.
I think if we found the right property, we appear to go up to £250,000.
It's not every day you go for a 2-week holiday and you end up staying for 25 years. So for Teresa, this move is a long-awaited family reunion. For Andy, well, it's the opportunity to embrace a new way of life, with talk of keeping chickens and growing his own vegetables. Ultimately, this move is a return to rural roots for our newlyweds. Andy and Teresa have asked that we base their house search around the small coastal town of Newcastle, where Teresa has family. We've selected 3 very different properties for them to see. But as always, they won't find out the price of each until they have a guess first. The last of these is our mystery house, which will throw all their great expectations out of the window. Hey, Teresa.
Oh, hi, Alan.
Andy, good
Hiya.
to see you. How are you?
Andy.
Congratulations on becoming Mr. and Mrs.
Thank you.
You want to focus around Newcastle, don't you?
Certainly. I think if I'm coming back to Ireland, I would want it to be near family. So I've actually got a sister who lives in Newcastle and one who lives about 10 miles away.
Right.
So I think to be in this location would be perfect.
And what about the budget?
Now that we're newlyweds, we want to spend a little bit of more time together and not be pressurised into a high mortgage. We would go $250 if we find the right property.
Okay. Well, listen, I'm hoping that there'll be a lot of crack over the next 2 days. That's what they say here, isn't it?
Absolutely.
And I hope there are no cracks in the walls of the properties I'm showing you. Otherwise, I think I'll be in trouble with this one. Now, let's get going. Follow me.
Excellent.
Okay.
For a top budget of £250,000, Andy and Teresa are looking for a country home that gives them a generously sized living room, a spacious kitchen diner, and 3 bedrooms. Outside, Andy would like a good-sized garden so he can grow his own, and a garage for his motorbike. And if the house were close to the coast, all the better. You do realise that the 3 of us in the car sound like a bit like a stereotypical joke. There's a Scotsman, a Welshman, and an Irishwoman. All we need is the Englishman now, and then we'd have a full set. You know, even the little driving we've done here so far, you can tell it's a really beautiful part of the world, isn't it?
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah.
Have you seen any houses here at all?
We looked about a year ago in a place called Dundrum, but there was just too much structural work that we weren't prepared to take on.
Right.
You know, we don't mind maybe a little bit of refurbishment, but nothing too major.
Okay. Mindful that they're after a house that needs very little work, we're starting our property search close to the village of Killyleagh, which has a castle built in the French chateau style, overlooking the harbour of Strangford Lough. The coastal position should appeal to Andy, and the main streets also have the range of shops and amenities they asked for. A short drive out of the village and set back from the road with its own private driveway is our first property. Is it what you'd expect, or...?
I'm quite excited. I didn't really know what to expect, but this is, yeah, it looks good.
It's a new build. It was
Yeah.
built 10 years ago.
It looks super.
Okay, great.
Shall we go?
You want to go in?
Yeah.
Okay, come on then, follow me.
Excellent.
This property also gives Andy the separate garage block he wanted as a home for his motorbike. But let's see what their first reactions are to the interior of the main house, which has recently been renovated and extended. Come on in. Come on in. Close the door behind you. So, this is your little hallway. From here, you've got a little TV snug room there.
Yeah.
But this is the main living area. Come on through.
Okay.
What do you think?
Yeah, fine. Maybe a little bit smaller, but probably with these doors you can, you know, there's room for movement.
Because it's interesting. We were working with a blank canvas, really.
Yeah.
Did you know what you really want, or did you
No,
know?
I'm pretty flexible, I think. Yeah, we both are.
The colour scheme may not be quite to our taste, but yeah. No.
But that's easy,
Absolutely.
you know. Yeah, no, but in terms of, you know, it's very spick and span. It's immaculate.
You've got American oak flooring,
Yeah.
solid wood
Ah,
flooring,
right.
which is nice.
It's excellent, yeah.
Can you imagine yourself in here? You said earlier on that you know instantly if you like somewhere, you get a feel for it.
I need a little more wander. Maybe
so you
I'm
were lying
greedy.
then.
Not quite that instant.
Right.
No, so far so good.
Okay. Well, I'm pretty sure the kitchen will measure up to Teresa's expectations. Come on in.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
Excellent.
And also you've got the utility room behind you
Oh, that's
with a
super.
separate door,
Super, I love the floor.
the ceramic tile floor.
Yeah,
It's under floor
absolutely.
heating as well.
Oh, fantastic.
Really airy, really bright, not overlooked at all. You know, open the little French doors into your garden.
Oh, that's super. I love the airiness of the room. The glass windows just give it that really bright. Yeah.
And you literally wouldn't have to do anything here,
No,
would you?
it's immaculate, yeah.
Certainly is, so no DIY needed. And leading off the main hallway, there's also the added bonus of a handy cloakroom. With downstairs covered, we'll explore the first floor, which gives them 3 bedrooms in total, including a double room and a single, currently used as an office. There's also a modern family bathroom with separate shower, but we'll get their view on where they would sleep. This is what's currently the master bedroom. What do you think?
Probably a little bit smaller than
Okay.
I was hoping for. That's just first impression.
The other thing you've got to take into account is that all of these walls up here are snug
Oh,
walls,
excellent.
so you could make a big master if you took away that office. Lovely view, a few cows in the field.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, that's what we're after.
It's really tranquil, very quiet. Country living.
The master may be smaller than they ideally wanted, but there's no denying that overall, this is a spacious property and a low-maintenance option for them. What's more, it sits on a generous plot that extends to just over half an acre, with plenty of space for Andy to grow his vegetables and keep chickens. You're very private. You do know that you've got neighbours, but, you know, they're not there looking over you.
Yeah, that's what's nice about it.
So let's talk money, shall we? What do you reckon?
Maybe approximately 215, maybe 220 max.
OK, 220,000 max. What about you, Andy?
I think even though the way the market is, it's probably going to slightly higher. I'd go more 230.
£230,000, OK. Well, I don't know how you feel then when I tell you that it's top end of your budget.
Yeah.
It's currently on the market for £249,950. OK, well, listen, go and have a look around. I'll be at the front waiting for you.
Okay.
Sneaking in just under their maximum budget of £250,000, this property gives them everything they wanted and includes 2 reception rooms with an extra seating area in the enormous kitchen diner. They also get 3 bedrooms. Outside, the garden extends to over half an acre and comes complete with a huge garage. Plus, it's close to both village amenities and the coast.
The bedrooms are a bit smaller than perhaps we'd have liked, but I think there's potential because a few walls can be moved.
Although I like modern houses, maybe the downstairs living room was a little bit too modern, but nothing that we couldn't adapt or change to suit, our requirements. But overall, the feel, especially the kitchen, it was very, very impressive because that's where we would most likely spend most of the day.
Here they are. Seen enough?
Yeah.
You're still smiling, just about?
Still smiling, yeah.
Still desperate to see that second property?
Oh yeah,
Desperate.
Yeah.
Come on then, let's go. County Down is renowned for its spectacular scenery, and one of its especially unspoilt havens lies in and around the tidal waters of Strangford Lough. Spanning over 60 square miles, it's one of only 3 marine nature reserves in the UK and has global recognition as what's known as a Ramsar site, awarded to wetlands of international importance. Earlier in the week, we arranged for Andy and Teresa to meet Strangford Lough's National Trust Warden, Craig McCoy, to spot some of its natural highlights.
Okay guys, there's some seals out here on the rock, basking out of the water, trying to keep warm. So a good view here. And there's actually a mixture of 2 species, the grey Atlantic seal and the common or harbour seal.
Craig, what role did the National Trust play in protecting the seals and species here?
Yeah, well, part of our role is to monitor the numbers. So once a month we would go out in our boat and count the seals that are in the loch, and that's just to get an idea of what the population levels are doing from year to year and what the breeding numbers are like. And we've been doing that for decades. But also the National Trust as a conservation charity, we've been acquiring a lot of the shoreline and the islands to make sure there's somewhere safe for them to haul out like this and just rest away from disturbance. Every time they go into the water, they cool down, they have to lose energy. And if that happens several times a day, they can lose condition and they could actually die during the winter. So we just encourage people just to keep distance.
The loch is also home to the world's first commercial marine current turbine, which provides electricity to around 1,000 homes for between 18 and 20 hours a day.
You can imagine a big wind turbine. So it's like one of those, but underwater. So it's this amazing amount of water that's coming through the entrance of Strangford Lough every day, is turning that turbine and producing electricity.
Part of a 5-year study, its effects are being closely monitored.
And does it have much impact on the environment? Or?
Well, that's obviously one of our big concerns. What impact will this have on the wildlife that makes Strangford Lough so special? So things like the seals and the porpoises, and even a lot of the diving birds that might be around it. So there's a lot of research going in tandem with this project.
If the study shows that tidal power can be harnessed with no long-term threats to wildlife habitats, it could be a groundbreaking answer to how renewable energy can be produced in our coastal waters. Our property search moves us away from the coast about 10 miles from Newcastle, close to the village of Rathfryland, and its hilltop position means that there are great views of the surrounding countryside. Set in a rural location just outside the village is our second property, which is a very substantial rebuild. There's been a house on this plot since the 1800s. It was razed to the ground and rebuilt in 2004.
No, it looks excellent. Love the tree.
Yeah, the tree's been here for a long time, I would say.
Yeah.
Great old monkey puzzle, isn't it?
So it looks like a lot of house for your money, doesn't it?
Yeah, it looks quite big, I must say. It reminds me on the shape of the farmhouse I was brought up in.
Oh, wow, that's good.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you like it, initially, anyway. Should we get in there?
Yeah.
OK, come on.
Yeah, but
Although the exterior gives the impression of a traditional country house, The inside has some very modern touches. Come on in. Oh, she has a really good spy, doesn't she, when she walks in?
Yeah, lovely.
You've got a shower room, bathroom there. You've got the kitchen, which I'm going to show you later. Yeah. But also it's quite a weird layout because you've got 2 bedrooms here.
Yeah.
Which means that the living room's upstairs, you see.
Oh.
So I don't know how you feel about that.
I love these curved walls.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, lovely.
And also, do you know what I really love about the place is the high ceilings as well.
Yeah,
What do you reckon, Andy?
Yeah. But improvement on the last one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
In what way?
More open, more space, bigger hallway. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a nicer entrance, certainly. It gives it that more spacious feel.
Oh, could be home. Yeah.
Yeah, it could be home. OK, well, I tell you what, I think we should go straight upstairs.
Yeah.
Hold that thought, Andy. Although it's unusual for the living room to be upstairs, they'll see why, as it makes the most of its fantastic outlook.
Oh, very nice.
What do you think? You like it?
Absolutely lovely. Yeah. Nice. I love the window. It's quite a bright room.
Yeah.
Quadruple aspect. You've also got this walnut floor, a working fireplace as well.
Super lovely. Yeah.
Nice, isn't it? Again, high ceiling as well.
Yeah. Perfect size.
You've got horses to the left of me, horses to the right. It's,
No, lovely.
Definitely in the country.
yeah. This room certainly made a good impression, and the lavish family bathroom with roll-top bath also makes a strong statement. Off the landing, there's another bedroom, a nice cosy double, but we'll take a peek at what could be their room, and this is the master.
Yeah.
Compact.
It is. Through that door is an ensuite,
Excellent.
massive shower, and also the modern wash basin again as well. Is it too small for you?
No, because I wouldn't have furniture as big as that in. If I had to use the other bedroom as a dressing room, then that would be fine.
Well, you know, I'm rubbish at maths, but I can even work out that you've got 4 really big bedrooms here. And you only wanted 2, didn't you? Maybe 3.
Yeah,
So there's a bonus of a dressing room or an office and a dressing room.
I think we both get that feeling that it's very, very nice.
To continue our topsy-turvy house tour, we'll retrace our steps downstairs and see if Teresa is as positive about the kitchen. So you've got these ceramic tiles throughout the downstairs. Come over here.
Wow. Oh. Fantastic. Yeah, it's
All
beautiful
fired range.
kitchen.
It can actually heat the water as well,
Yeah.
or not, as the case may be. It's your choice. Current owner does a lot of cooking on it. Loves his cooking, and also you've got the
that's
gas as well. It's
excellent,
bottled gas. Loads of storage. The other side of this unit is all storage. Just to my right here behind the door, you've got a utility room with a door leading outside as well. So again, if you get muddy from walking in the mountains, then you leave it all there, of course.
Yeah,
Excellent,
excellent. Yeah, it's really nice. Oh no, the kitchen's fantastic. A wonderful size.
A lot of character.
Yeah, and this is something that you wanted after seeing the first property.
Definitely.
And I love the amount of windows again. They're small windows, but this in itself just, you know, it's fantastic.
And it's the open plan dining room as well.
Yeah.
There's no doubt that the high-spec features and generous living areas this house offers really appeals to them. Outside also gives Andy a double garage for his motorbike, and the attractively landscaped gardens are framed by a traditional stone wall. And let's not forget those fabulous views, but at what cost? OK, well, let's talk money, shall we?
No.
Wow.
Can you afford it? We'll find out. What do you reckon it's on the market for, Andy?
Must be near the top end. I would say 245.
245, £245,000.
I would say probably the top end, 250.
It's currently on the market for £260,000.
Okay.
The current owner is willing to take sensible offers.
Okay.
Go on, you go and take it all in.
Excellent.
I'll catch you later.
Excellent.
Okay.
Priced at £260,000, our second property is over budget, but who knows where a sensible offer might get them. After all, it gives them a huge house that's finished to a really high standard and includes a spacious living room with fireplace, 4 bedrooms with a master ensuite, and pretty gardens with great countryside views. What's more, Teresa gets her wish to be close to her family.
I wanted a property with a bit of character, and this property certainly reaches all the expectations. It's a modern house, but the character, especially in the kitchen with the stove and the tiling, it's just perfect. Although having the living room upstairs was quite a shock at first, when you actually enter the living room and you just look out these windows, you can understand the whole concept of the living room being upstairs.
The finish, the quality of all the furnishings, the size of the rooms, everything is much more than we could have expected.
Ah! It even looks like you're walking out of your own home. I was just saying that horse keeps looking at me really nastily. I think I've offended.
Totally.
Well, that's it for today, guys. Two very different houses.
Yeah, definitely.
A lot to take in. Feeling frazzled?
A little bit, but positive.
Well, let's call it a night, and we'll reconvene tomorrow for the mystery property. How's that?
Yeah,
Lovely.
sounds good.
Sounds good.
Come on, then.
Yep.
Let's go. Let's go into the car. As evening falls over the shores of County Down, the first day of our property search draws to a close. After 25 years away from Northern Irish soil, Teresa realises it's now or never if she wants to return to her home turf. So she and husband Andy have agreed to sell their house in Watford, Hertfordshire, and spend £250,000 on their forever home in County Down. The two properties we've shown them so far have been immaculate options with no work required. But coming up, there's unfinished business to deal with in our mystery house. You want to go inside?
Absolutely, let's go.
Go! And I have to swallow more than my pride in an oyster-eating frenzy. Ah, the sun is out and it's a brand new day here in Northern Ireland. The big question is, have we already found Teresa and Andy their dream property? And if so, do we really need to venture into the mystery house? Well, yes, they loved house number 2 yesterday and they were saying all the right things. But the mystery property, well, the price is right, and it also gives them the opportunity to go wild with their imaginations. And who knows, bathroom salesperson Teresa may even be showering it with praise. I'll just leave now. What would you like the mystery property to be?
It'd be nice to see something more traditional, perhaps by the coast or views to the coast.
Okay. What about you, Teresa?
Yeah, I think you're going to throw a spanner in the works. I think it's going to be very traditional, not a modern house at all. Probably older, quite old, and maybe more character. But we're quite keen.
Well, Teresa, you're going to need a lot more than a spanner. They better prepare themselves to get completely tooled up as we head to our mystery property. The good news is it's closer to the coast than any of the other houses. Just a short walk from the shores of Strangford Lough, a main base for catching the ferry across to the inlet of Portaferry. Along with having local amenities and community on their doorstep, this property falls into their ideal search area. Our mystery house is traditional, which is what they requested. But the big challenge is whether they have the vision to finish off what is, to put it bluntly, a building site. It's basically one of 4 barn conversions. It dates back to the mid-1800s.
Yeah.
And it's been restored, repointed. As you can see, it's not finished.
No,
But what this gives you is the opportunity to totally put your stamp on a property.
Yeah.
The builder, the owner, has said he'll have it done for you in 3 months. So what do you think?
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You want to go inside?
Absolutely, let's go.
OK, if we are going to go inside, you'll need that, Andy.
Oh, lovely, thank you.
And you'll need that.
Well, thank you.
I've got you your his and hers helmets. I thought, you know, it's the least I can do, really.
Lovely.
I'm going for choir boy white.
OK,
You look great.
thank you.
There you are.
Have to keep up with you.
Come on, then. Let's see if they can get their minds in sync and form a vision of what this interior could give them. You can have the front door in whatever colour you want.
Good to know.
As you can see, you're going to have to use your imagination greatly.
Yeah.
You've got downstairs loo there. Got, good-sized double bedroom there, ensuite.
Yeah.
And then the stairs will go in here. And above us, you'll have 2 big bedrooms, big bedrooms, both ensuite.
Yeah. Oh, excellent.
So, what do you reckon?
Yeah, it sounds good. I think if he's prepared to do the work, that just takes the pressure
Yeah,
off
he
us.
is. Yeah.
Yeah.
You,
So
you can
that's-
literally say what sort of flooring you'd want as you
Yeah,
walked in. So
no
what would you
worries
have?
at all. Well, we would have to go for the old slate.
The reception rooms lead off the hallway with a wood burner earmarked to go into the main sitting room. Being open plan, it flows through into what would be a very spacious kitchen diner. This is very light and airy.
Oh, yeah, this is nice. Yeah.
So you see, you could literally have all this as one almost
Yeah.
open plan space. You'd have the kitchen through there. Again,
Yeah.
good-sized kitchen.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know, would you have this as a dining room?
Yeah,
or
it's
would you-
quite deceiving, the size of the back of the property.
Isn't it?
It's,
Yeah.
it's
Stretches
much
back,
bigger,
yeah.
yeah. It's nice and airy, and I think with the, the double doors, the windows, the skylights, it's excellent.
Yeah. Well, come and have a look at the kitchen.
Yeah.
Next door, the kitchen also has space for a utility room and features those high ceilings and skylights. Our mystery house gives them options outside as well. Although the house sits on a half-acre plot, there's the chance to buy additional land behind, which would make the most of the great countryside views. And as there are plans to demolish the store shed at the side, there's scope for Andy to build his garage. So this would be your garden up to the store there, which incidentally you could keep, or the idea at the moment is it's going to be raised to the ground.
Right.
And of course you could build a substantial shed there, couldn't you?
Oh, you could.
But he was also, the current owner is willing to sell you this land as well. Whether you'd need it or not, I don't know. You've got quite a bit of land out front, and this as well, it's quite big.
Yeah, I think the idea of having this little additional bit is also quite good. It opens up loads of options. Then we maybe could extend onto the back so it wouldn't use up all the garden.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
OK, well, we've come to that time again. Let's talk money, shall we? We're talking about the finished product here.
Okay.
You're not paying for the shell. You're paying for it to be finished as you wish. The builder says it'll take 3 months. Included in that would be that raised to the ground if you want. What do you reckon it's currently on the market for?
I would say 210.
Interesting, £210,000. OK, gosh, right.
I'd probably go slightly higher. I think 220.
£220,000. It's interesting. Bang in the middle, actually. £215,000.
Well, I'm good for something.
Yeah, under your budget.
Yeah.
Go and have a look round. You haven't looked upstairs yet.
No.
No.
I think I'll maybe take your heels off.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
certainly
you might fall through the floor. I'll catch up with you at the front.
Okay.
OK?
Lovely, thanks.
Thank you.
All the best to you. Well, that went well, I think. Again, they're keeping their cards quite close to their chests, but they're saying all the right things. Potential. Is it too much of a job for them? I'm not quite sure. The chirping birds are obviously very, very happy here. Birdwood, Teresa and Andy B. I'm none the wiser. Under budget at £215,000 for the finished article, our mystery house has the lowest price amongst our lineup of properties and is the ultimate blank canvas, providing space for a large sitting room with wood burner, a light, airy kitchen diner, 3 bedrooms, and a half-acre garden with a scope to purchase the adjoining field.
I definitely could see myself living here because I do like actually the styling of the cottage, and I think the distance between Newcastle and Belfast is very appealing to me. And having spoken to a neighbour, apparently the location is very, very good, so that's very reassuring. The price is very good because it'll enable us to think about purchasing the field behind and perhaps even the little bit of plot to the left of the property, and that way we could really have a nice large courtyard.
That'd be fun, I think, choosing your own fixtures, fittings, floor, and add a few natural features, I think. A lot of stone, a lot of wood, be nice.
I think I get a good feel.
Yeah.
I think we can think outside the box. Okay, we're coming and looking at brick walls, but you know, when it's finished, I think it could be a lovely,
Yeah.
you know, just final.
You could put all your own features in there that you want.
I hope I haven't messed with your minds too much with this one.
No.
You all right?
Yeah, fine.
Still
thanks.
smiling, that's good to see. Should we go and have a chat about everything we've seen?
Yeah.
Come on then. The Georgian village of Hillsborough in County Down is, for the most part, a peaceful place. But for 4 days of the year, that serenity gives way to the boisterous shenanigans of the World Oyster Eating Championships. With some trepidation, I'm going to try my luck in this year's heats. So I've stopped by to find out more from the festival organiser, Sean Hall. Hey, Sean, good to see you. Is this just kind of a fun thing, or is it taken very seriously?
Oh, well, the oyster eating, there's two parts. The first bit is fun. You just get 30 oysters and you try and eat those as quickly as possible. Whenever that's finished, we get on to the serious one, which is the World Championship. And there are 3 entrants this year, one from Korea, one from Canada,
Wow.
and one from Northern Ireland, the reigning world champion.
Right, and how many oysters do they eat? Loads.
Well, they're provided with up to 300. And that, for the 3-minute time in which they've got to do it, is more than enough.
So this event in the pub tonight, it's not really part of the main competition where, you know, the entrants come from far and wide?
Yeah, tonight we find the Northern Ireland champion.
Ah, OK.
Which, of course, can't include you because you're from Wales.
Exactly.
I'm looking forward to seeing you compete. So
I'm looking forward to being there.
see you later in the pub.
The reigning world champion set the record back in 2005 at the festival by eating 233 oysters in 3 minutes. He's local man, Colin Shirlow. So if you're going out for a romantic meal with a missus or something like that, and you're at the restaurant and there's oysters on the menu, do you go not a sniff?
No
chance.
No, every time I put an oyster in my mouth, I have a flashback of the previous competition. I have a flashback of going 3 minutes. It's a long time.
Yeah.
Like, it is a long time.
Colin has mastered a winning but stomach-churning technique that complies with the competition rules.
The oyster has to be in the shell,
Yeah.
and the shell has to be lifted one at a time and put into the mouth. Now, you can use both hands, and then you can swallow. I would normally take about 10 or so, and then one swallow would do 10, and keep it going that way.
You're joking.
That's the only thing.
So you got 10 oysters in your mouth at one time, and then you swallow them all?
Just swallow them.
Hey, listen, good luck. We'll be rooting for you.
Will you?
And
I
nice
do
to talk
appreciate
to you.
it. Yes,
All the
likewise.
best to you.
Thank you very much.
I can't believe you can put 10 oysters in your mouth and then swallow them. Jeez, it's not right. Colin doesn't want to spoil his appetite for the World Championship, so for the heats, he's standing in as compere.
Welcome to the preliminary round of the Oyster Festival.
With my confidence waning, it's time to step up and come face to face with my 20 oysters.
Hands above your head.
Oh, above my head?
Yeah.
He's not listening either.
2, 1, go!
Still! Come on! Oh, which one should I do? I don't think I'll be making it into the oyster eating record books this year, but in the main competition, good old Colin went on to eat a staggering 198 oysters in 3 minutes and held on to his title for another year. And my oyster eating career is over before it began. But I really did enjoy the event. Well, it's time to find out whether Teresa and Andy think that any of the houses we've shown them have championship credentials. Well, listen, we've shown you 3 very different houses. You've smiled in most of them, I think. Let's talk about the first one.
We liked it, or shall I say we thought we liked it.
It had a great kitchen, that first property.
That was the main feature, I think, would have been nice. The big kitchen, big dining area, come sitting room. I think that's the room you'd have spent most of your time in, I think, definitely. I think there were some rooms upstairs that needed, they were a bit small, so we needed maybe a bit of structural work.
it really didn't get me very excited. Maybe it was too new, too modern.
Right.
It didn't really make us tick.
Okay. Property 2 did.
Property 2, yeah. That was lovely. For the features you were getting, I mean, the finish was just lovely. I don't think you'd have needed to do much.
No. It was literally immaculate, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was really well looked after. The interior was excellent.
Now, when we were standing outside property number 2, you weren't keen at all before you'd seen it.
I was quite...
You were finding any excuse not to like it.
I think actually what frightened me was the distance as we were being driven out further into the mountains. I was panicking. It was a little bit frightening. However, when we did look at the property, I think we were both very, very shocked and surprised in a
And actually, it was in
lovely
quite a good location for you as well. It was sort of 40 minutes from Sister, 40 minutes from Belfast, and
Yeah.
was it, 10 or 11 miles from
Newcastle. Yeah, so I think when we were a bit more realistic, we could see that it wasn't at the end of the earth, you know.
OK, what about the major curveball that was the mystery property? How did you feel then looking at an empty shell?
I think when you added in that it's an empty shell, but the owner is prepared to do, you know, everything to finish the project, and that we would have quite a say in what we would want, then that sort of made it a bit, you know, easier for us to...
If you can put your own mark on the property and have totally your own style without conforming to someone else's ideas.
The price was with, you know, a nice price range, and it did give us that little bit of more, you know, if we wanted to get the field, you know, to increase the size of the garden and even the area to the left of the house, it certainly would be quite a major, you know, garden for us, which, you know, Andy could have his chickens, he could have his shed for his
You have an army of chickens.
A couple of alterations we thought I might have made in the kitchen area.
What,
Just
opening the
open
whole
up a
thing
little
up?
bit.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Moving back that wall, opening up that doorway a little bit.
Does that mean if you're thinking about all these alterations and changes that you haven't disregarded that property yet then?
Certainly not. I actually loved the styling of the property, particularly the back end of the property. It had a beautiful stone.
Yes, it's more
stone
natural
feature.
stone. That's what we really like.
OK, well, I've got to ask you, are you going to go and see any of them again?
Oh yeah, I think we will.
certainly,
I think we will, yeah. Probably the second one and this one.
And the third one, we will certainly go before returning to England.
Okay.
We'll go next week.
Well, listen, I hope you're happy wherever you decide to buy, and I hope you are walking up and down, if not this beach, a beach very close by, arm in arm, and I hope you're very happy for the future. It's been great meeting you.
Oh, thank
Lovely.
you.
And that's almost it from County Down. I must say, it's been great meeting Teresa and Andy. Lovely people, although most definitely not foolhardy people. They could be too much the other way, and that their indecision could hamper their escape to the country. Anyhow, eventually, I hope they do find their pot of property gold at the end of their Irish rainbow. Until next time, goodbye. If you'd like to escape to the country in Northern Ireland, Scotland, Wales or England and need our help, please apply online at bbc.co.uk/be on a show.